That's
Makes
gold
sense.
1. We're gold 2 at the moment.
Alright, I assume your rifle is here, right?
Pardon?
Are you this person?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
No, no. I'm Onyx Mage. Onyx
Oh,
Mage.
okay, cool. Let me just go to here. Okay. Alright. So yeah, I guess like the purpose of this session, I mean, normally when people get hour sessions, they don't split it into half, but I guess this one will
Yeah.
be to give you something grounded to work on. Maybe not 3 key points, but maybe like 1 or 2, and then we can review that in the next session too. So we'll see how this
Sweet.
goes. And yeah. Alright. Still looking for fundamentals. I'm basically going to be trying to look at the biggest fish, and hopefully you don't feed too hard. I mean, I am seeing that they're running an honor, so again, soft engages are going to be really important to force out those cooldowns. They're also running a fairly immobile comp too, so again, there should be no worry of getting forced out by a Genji, a Sombra Echo, a Tracer, etc. So should be, again, goals here really to be marking the enemy Ashe, and then hopefully finding a way to soft engage onto the enemy honor. Maybe these guys are playing together as well, that's also reasonable. And then once you can see an opportunity or some triggers to actually go into the honor, then you capitalize. So we'll see.
Right.
And of course, don't get poked out too much. But yeah. Okay. See. Okay, so I'm not sure if I mentioned this idea to you. I'll mention it now. I might not apply it because I just 2x'd it. But in fact, I was coaching Doom earlier today, and a really important thing was visual aggro with your power block, and it's something that's really it's not just specific to Doomfist, obviously, and I might have even mentioned it to you prior. But essentially, you need to be looking at the eyes of the enemy team. Like, what is this Pharah looking at? What is the Ashe looking at? What is the Honor looking at, etc.? And that, if they're looking at you, that is a source of visual aggro. The more visual aggro you have, the easier it is to charge your power block. Now, obviously, there's things like projectile damage, like this, for example. Like, this is a completely fine power block to do. You're going to get guaranteed rocket damage. That's all reasonable. But when you are playing against double hit scan comps, or maybe this far is like fairly smart, and, you know, maybe this rocket's only a splash rocket, whatever the case may be, like, you need to be looking at what the enemy team are looking at too. So, this is fine, right? You've got the enemy Ashe looking at you, and the Pharah shooting down rockets from above. This is sufficient aggro to get your power block off and to get a good punch. But yeah. Fortunately, it was just one tiny bit off, but they seem reasonable there in principle. Okay, so let's look at this again. Because to me, this does not look like a promising. Like, I see what you're trying to do here, right? So, I actually mentioned this again earlier to my other Doom player, which was like, if you actually want to like be able to burn the enemy tank, there's like 2 sort of requirements. Firstly, this guy needs to be fairly squishy, which he is. He's Doomfist. And secondly, he needs to be able, if he needs to be able to be punishable if you punch him into your own team. So for example, like what you're doing here, in principle, is reasonable, because if you punch the Doom into your team, he's going to die. He's half HP, he's squishy, and he's also going to be in a punishable position here. So I don't mind you doing this. Of course, mechanically, you just get a little bit scuffed with the punch, so it's whatever. But yeah, I would focus more whenever you're playing Doomfist more generally, in terms of just zoning the backline and keeping them at bay. So again, and that's something you could do while you're soft engaging. So I would have actually much rathered for you to go back to your POV here. Wrong Doomfist. Your POV here. Right, where could you potentially play, or where could you potentially slam to that threatens the enemy backline, or gets the enemy backline to consider where you're playing? Maybe it considers them to actually walk up and clear you out. Maybe it considers them to actually look at you. Where could you maybe slam to?
Like over by the bus.
When you say by the bus, do you mean like, what do you mean? Do you mean like over here?
Yeah, like I was thinking, just slam on them and then punch out.
What might be the issue with this? Have you got much cover?
Nah, and the Doom can just drop behind me.
Yeah, there's not much cover here, right? So if you punched over here, you would get very easily cleared, right? Then I talk about this in my videos, the turn and burn kind of thing, where if you go here, all this Doomfist needs to do now is zone your backline for a good 3, 4, 5 seconds and make this a 1v3, which he can very easily do because he's actually got cover to play around and he's got distance from your team. So he can just play to zone, and then you are the one that gets burned by 4 different people at once because you are out in open space in LOS of 4 different people. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily go right over here. What about over here?
Yeah.
right? So why is this a better position to be in?
Because then Doom's team can't see me, and I can just poke Doom out.
Right, so you can AFK here, and you can't get cleared, so you're very safe, right? The second after
Yeah.
that is you are also threatening their rotation, right? If you stand here, these guys, the enemy Honor, the enemy Ash, like Ash can't coach gun up here if you're here, because you can punish her, right? If the Honor
Right.
walks forward, you will punish her by drop punching or whatever the case, or just shooting or threatening her, and she'll have to be forced to look at you, right? The Ash Honor cannot clear you, Moira as well. The only person that can really clear you is Farah, but again, if the Farah wants to come and clear you, she needs to walk into the LOS of your Honor and your Bastion, right? So again, you want to look for these positions that make it really hard for the enemy team to clear you because it's just too dangerous for them. Or, and as well, it makes you very aggressive, right? Because if they do try and clear you, you yourself can punish the enemy team for doing so. So yeah, that's kind of that's the spot there. Again, I think I probably talked to you about this in our initial VOD, but this is called aggressive, but safe. Like a very simple phrase to keep in mind whenever you're thinking about what to stage to. So if I press play here, and let's say hypothetically you did actually play here, right? Let's see what could have happened. Okay. Yep. The team's AFK, team's AFK, team's AFK, team's AFK, team's AFK. The Doom actually starts to go in. He's kind of feeding. Right, like now the backline start to walk up because their Doomfist is going in, and now you can actually look to maybe make a move, right? So maybe you don't have to necessarily drop punch here. I wouldn't even have to engage this, right? But maybe you can like sort of peek, look for some shots. Maybe again, if they start playing a little bit more aggressively, maybe you can drop and then slam over to bait the sleep dart. That could also be very reasonable to do. Maybe you can drop, punch away to again bait sleep dart. That's also fine to do. But the point here being is that again, it's very hard to clear you, and you get a good soft engage on the enemy Honor. Obviously, compared to like someone like Winston, it'd be a lot harder to do, because if you're playing Winston, you can just drop down, zone backline, and it becomes very easy. But that's kind of how you would do it on Doomfist here. So yeah. Obviously, you decide to punch away onto the enemy Doomfist, and let's see, wrong Doomfist. See here. Right, and obviously you try and do this because you think it's punishable, right? But if I look at the backline here and look at what they're doing, right? This Doom's probably going to die regardless of your inputs. And actually, it's these guys that are the real threats, right? The Doom's not going to kill anyone. It's going to be the Ash swinging an angle that's going to kill someone. It's going to be the Honor nading your Bastion that's going to kill him. It's going to be your Moira being DPS TikTok Moira that's going to kill someone, right? Your whole job as tank is to make sure, also prevent that, to zone them away, to get this Ash, Honor, and Moira to look at you, not your Bastion. So if that Honor hits an aid, if that Moira does something, if the Ash hits a dynamite, that's kind of on you, because you're not zoning these characters away. So yeah, very lucky that the Moira just ends up going to the trap there. The Doom obviously dies. Farah's late to the fight, and the Honor doesn't get a good nade, right? So you get away with that. But I know in high elo, or in higher elo, there's going to be situations against better teams where the Honor will hit a nade onto your Bastion, and your Bastion will die because of that. So again, it's something to keep in mind with where you're deciding to move to. Okay. Let's see here. Of course, you're just getting follow-up kills. Whatever. Hope you don't extend. I don't mind you wasting that block. You'll get it back. Okay. I would just punch him off here. Don't power block it. So like here, like even if you power block this and you get punch, it doesn't matter, because you're gonna just quickly touch the punch. The purpose of the punch is just to get him off the high ground, right? You don't need him powered to be able to do that. So yeah, I wouldn't even power block this. I would just punch him off the high ground. This is a dog shit engage. Keep the high ground. That's all you need to do really, and then maybe you can power block after that. Because now you waste power block and you miss the punch, and now you're off high ground. So there's like three different things that go wrong in about 2 seconds. Okay. Of course, that Bastion with speeds. Also, that Doom with speeds. Sure. What's the slight mistake here? What do you need to keep in mind before you actually look to follow up on the skill?
Who's attacking my team?
Yeah, right. So maybe the LOS of your team is important. What about your character specifically?
Do I have an escape ability?
Yes, right. So what do you not have here?
My slam or block.
Yes, you haven't got slam or your block. So yeah, at the very least, like again, it's going to be difficult for the enemy team to punish you here, right? So I don't think you're not going to die for this, I assume. But again, against high level teams where I've seen so many, it's become like a curse. I've seen so many teams use 5v4s. Even in high elo ranked, it happens all the time. Even 5v3s, I've seen teams use 5v3s because they do crazy stuff like this, you know, where they're just hard ints. And let's say that Ana was competent and hit a sleep dart onto you. Maybe the Ana's dead or something. Oh, they slipped off of it, never mind. But let's say they were running Ana in this sort of situation here. Like, look how punishable you are, you know? Say this Kiriko becomes an Ana and sleep starts you, you're cooked. You're cooked, and you're back to the spawn room.
Yeah.
So yeah. And even then, without an Ana in Plat, you're half HP. You know, and with characters without better aim, better mechanics, and against an Ana, you're cooked. So again, something to really keep in mind there.
Yeah.
Okay. Relates back to the soft versus hard engagement thing as well. Okay, let's see here. Fine-ish. Okay, Ram now. Fine. Ram was actually the tank, so yeah, like, again, I really don't want you to match the Ram at all. Like, I just ignore him completely. Even if you punch him into your team, he's just got infinite sustain with block that he's not going to get punished. So ignore him whenever you can.
Right.
If he was like Sigma or something, or like a much more squishy tank, then I would be more reasonable with you looking to punch him into your team. Maybe that could be something fine to do. But yeah, generally speaking, even against Sigma, it's still stuff to do. We'll see here. Sounds okay. Good. Jump power block. Okay. Good. Obviously, your Junkrat's tiring, so you're going in to create space. That's completely reasonable. I don't mind that. Punch is good. Fine. Okay, wasting another by your honor. I'm not gonna hate on you too much for that power block. Normally, I actually the guy I was clutching earlier was playing into Ram as well, and he did the exact same power block as you. Normally, when the Ram's shooting at you, you want one other person shooting alongside the Ram to get a full charge, because Ram can stop shooting whenever, despite him being projectile, which is why you didn't fully charge block there. But yeah, okay, fine, you didn't get the kill there, whatever. You can punch out. You need to, or get a block, that's fine, yeah. Again, that becomes more reasonable, because there's like 4 different people shooting at you, 5 different people actually shooting you there. So there's a lot of visual aggro that you can look to attain. Okay. I honestly don't even mind this punch, because your Junkrat is kind of being a bit special, we'll put it lightly. And the enemy Ashe is in open space too. So you've got clearly a positional advantage here, because this person's in open space. You've got a numbers advantage, because your Junkrat's going to feed and become a 4v5. You've also got a TD advantage, because you've got punch, so you've got multiple triggers, I'm okay with this, and you've got an escape route back to high ground. So I expect you to punch here, slam out, GG, you're fine, and you get a free kill. Unfortunately, you miss, which is a bit unfortunate, sadly. But it is what it is. Say that again, sorry?
I was so sad about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough whenever because even I used to coach a high level like tier 3 team that had a Doom OTP, and he even used to miss like really easy punches like this, and most of the time it just came down to like patience and making sure that again you're not going too fast for no reason. Especially like it's such a ranked mentality to be so greedy and to look for an immediate punch kill. Yeah. But just take your time, you know. There's no rush there. Your Junkrat's being a bit special. So yeah. Again, right? No, the Ashe is de-peaking, right? If the Ashe was peaking here and shooting you, this block becomes more reasonable. But again, he's not. Again, the Ashe isn't doing that. So again, this block is not very good. Not to mention, it's also again fairly slow, because look at the eyes of the Ramacha, right? I mean, even back here, he turned his head away. So again, look at the eyes of the enemy team, not just their body language, but the eyes too. Okay, it's time the high grounds. Ooh, yeah. So you might get cooked here. I mean, I doubt you will, because your Bastion's doing stuff. I'm still though, you're the Junkrat's dead here, so you might get cooked for this, or get your Mutual Strike forced. If you get your Mutual Strike forced because of this, I'm gonna cry. But what I will say is, why not send the high grounds?
Yeah, just didn't think about it.
Right, so again, I think there's a common thing with dive tank players, is they don't tend to think about the spaces they want to control. They tend to think about the kills they want to attain. And right now, again, like you were looking for the kill into the enemy Ashe a bit earlier, and to the Moira too. And now, again, you're looking to just get some value, some damage onto the Ramacha. You're not really thinking about the longevity of the fight. You're not thinking about how this fight pans out if the enemy Ashe takes this high ground here with her Pharah and her Kiriko. And then, yeah, in actuality, like I've said this many a time when I've coached players before, But whenever you stack main, you will take more damage, like you will, and you will deal less of it yourself. And funnily enough, that's a perfect case of it here. Because I haven't even watched, I don't know what's going to happen to your HP bar here, but it's not looking good, let me tell you. It's not looking good. And funnily enough, you would have been able to do more and actually contribute to this fire kill had you just slammed the high grounds. You would have avoided the bob and done more. Right, it's a double whammy. So yeah, fortunately the thing doesn't hit you there, but that forces your meter strike. So I mean that's not great over there obviously, right? That could have been very easily prevented with just a little bit more thinking or a change in mindset behind again. Soft versus hard engaging. That's a thick ass pen. Did not mean to do that, but yeah, soft versus hard engaging, and then thinking about the spaces that you want to control during your escapes. Generally speaking as well, you want to be thinking about your escapes before you even decide to engage. So again, like I mentioned a bit at the start of the VOD over here, your escape path to engaging would be dropping down and then you escape back here, or dropping down, escape back to high grounds, or dropping down, punching back over here. That's a decent escape. Or again, punching here and escaping through here. Right, that's where immediately my mind went to. So yeah, just you'll get used to it the more you think about it before you actually engage, and it becomes second nature to you, really, to be honest. But yeah. Okay, let's see where you are. Meter strike. Okay, sure. I mean, Ash is AFK. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. You can punch her. Not the bob. Oh my god. Oh.
I was gonna hit her as well.
Why the bob?
I just thought she was close enough that it had hit them both.
So you greeted the okay. Yeah, I mean, even then, like, surely the thinking's the other way around, right? Because by proxy, if you thought the bob could hit the Ash by punching the bob, then surely the inverse is true. By hitting the Ash, you will also hit the bob. Right, but maybe I don't know. You thought hitting the Ash was you'd miss.
I was just worried that the bob was gonna kill someone, so like my attention was more on getting the bobs.
Maybe. I mean, potentially, right? But that same argument also applies to your Ash, or to the enemy Ash.
Yeah.
And also, Bob is finite. He can just, he leaves, you know? Ash does not. Ash is unfortunately a permanent hero in the game. So yeah. And that's just a missed kill there, sadly. Right. Slam is not good. So again, like, the second you realize, again, there should be like a moment of realization here. That should be like, oh shit, I'm cooked. Because my team are dead. I also just wasted my most powerful ability in the game on the bob. So I need to be thinking about what to slam to, right? So again, where can you maybe slam to?
High ground.
Yes, right? Can anyone who are the characters on the enemy team that can maybe chase you?
Ash, maybe, but not really.
Yeah, not really, right? Again, if she's not gonna invest fucking Coach Gun to come and chase you, she's dumb.
Kiriko.
I mean, yeah, Kiriko, right? Farah, but she's dead. So, like, again, I think maybe I mentioned this to you beforehand, but whenever you're playing against these hyper immobile comps, you can play here, and no one's gonna come for you. Like, unironically, no one's gonna do shit to you. And it's it's really counterintuitive, because if you stay here on this high ground, it feels really dangerous. Because the entire enemy team know where you're at, the entire enemy team, you're in their space as well, so it just feels very scary. But again, it's the difference between a mid-Doom and a good Doom is that he'll realize that this is a space that he can hold and threaten from, uncontested, based on the composition of the enemy team. Again, this in this situation is aggressive, but safe. Right? Safe because I just described that to you. Right? They're hyper immobile, they can't chase you. But aggressive because you're literally in the enemy team space. You have the perfect angle to engage from. You couldn't ask for a better angle to engage from than behind them, right? When the cart pushes around like this, you know? So that could have been really nice. And then, who knows how that could have gone? The dominoes effect, that could have gone from there. Maybe you go from here to here, and then you threaten the Ash, and then you get a kill, right? Or maybe you start a meter strike, right? There's so many, like, small things so far in the 3 minutes of game that we've seen that could have changed the outcome of this game, and that could have actually changed the fact that you lose defense here. But yeah, we're going to die. You're going to die for the slam now. Small thing as well. Obviously the slam thing was important too, but they're power block here, so hit the punch. When the Ash starts looking at you. So again, her eyes are now. The googly eyes are just weird now. So maybe a bit harder to do. But when you see the enemy team looking at you, then you can put power block. You'll get charge. You'll get punch, and then you can slam the high ground afterwards. Same kind of idea, but you just get a free punch. So I thought I'd mention that as well. Okay, let's speed it up here to seconds. Yeah, it's criminal that you lived that. Holy shit, I thought you were gonna die there. That's criminal. You deadass just like went into the enemy team like 1v4 and just lived. That's insane. And I missed Plats. Okay, let's see here. I mean, this is going to be even tougher now because it's now we're in a corner-to-corner situation that has very short sidelines for the enemy Ramatcha by both ways. And again, you're not a tank that benefits from that. You're a tank that wants to open up the map and play super wide. Same thing with your team, actually. Like, your team wants to be playing back high grounds here that extend the range of your Mercy Bastion. So hopefully, you don't play the corner. I mean, maybe you do, right? I mean, your team's playing the corner, so you probably have to play the corner yourself, right? But just saying that in case, you know, in a future game, you probably don't want to hold this corner if you're playing Doomfist. Keep it properly. Okay, let's see here. I mean, obviously, they're running fucking Zen Ana, and you're running Lucio Moira. Please hold the corner. But yeah, in this situation, don't. But yeah. Okay, you are playing back. This is good, right? So I'm pretty sure this is unintentional. But whenever you're playing around comps that are super frontline heavy, in this case, it's Ramatcha, but it could be a Mauga. I know Doom players will hate Mauga. It could be Mauga, could be Orisa, could be Sombra. Sombra's a good example as well. Basically, it's comps that want to turn corners and burst the but just destroy you the second they turn the corner. It's really important that you play some distance away from the corner. Even better if you've got another corner to play around. So some coaches would like to call this playing 2 corners away. So instead of playing here, you'll play probably here. Maybe here as well, right? So you're playing not 1 corner away, 2 corners, or something like this. Or again, you can just have more distance, is another way to put it more simply. Again, it ensures that you don't get blown the fuck up by the Ashfara Kiri Moira around swinging the corner and burning you. So you actually back up quite nicely here. So you're unpunishable here, effectively. But yeah. Okay. Fine. Obviously, you can't clear fire there, so I'm not going to cry at you too much for going on to backline here. Plus, your Bastion was also bombing backline, I think I saw. So I'm not going to cry at you too much for that. I think, again, the punch is like more than reasonable. Question is, can you get out?
I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I wasted a punch at the end.
That is not looking good. I see you slam there. Oh, no. Yeah, you should not have you slam. I mean, if you had Meteor Strike, I would be okay with this because you can actually hard engage this. But unfortunately, you do not have the triggers or the positional trigger to be able to hard engage this. I say that because you're just too far away, right? You just can't, like, you need to invest both abilities to be able to reach them, which is not what you want to do. But yeah, I would, if you wanted to follow up on this, that's fine. Just slam, right? Just slam these guys, zone these guys off, make it a 1v3, zone these guys off, and allow your team to clear the fucking, where is she? The Farah, right? That should be very easy. Again, turn and burn kind of playstyle. Again, I've mentioned that many times in my videos before. That's how you would do it here. And again, it's the difference between zoning like this and just keeping the backline at bay versus actually hard engaging and looking for a kill. That's the difference. That's really hard to, like, I guess, understand or differentiate while you're playing the game. But yeah, had you, like, been able to do that? Like, when you're playing, this is perfect, right? Where you are right now, press your power block when the Ashe is looking at you, and this would have been perfect. But yeah, unfortunately, you have to hard commit here. Okay. And you most likely will die. You should die for this. No way you get out. That's criminal. Again, that is insane. The Farah gets out too? Like, nah, this can't be real. That's just insane, Elo. But yeah. More you know. Okay, bro, didn't get quicked on. Yeah, okay, just don't do it. You're not get quicked on. If you'll get quicked on, I wouldn't mind this, but just don't do it. Like, the thing is, I don't even mind you slamming up to contest the Farah, right? Like, I actually don't even mind you slamming up, cancelling it, and then just trying to burst on the Farah with shots. Like, cancel, and then shoot, land on high ground, perfect. And again, if you landed here, this is the epitome of aggressive but safe. Aggressive because you can punish and drop down below, but safe because there's no way the enemy team are going to clear you. If they want to clear you, they have to go back into the fucking spawn room and walk up these stairs. No one's going to do this. No one's ever doing this. And then try and clear you out. That's the only possible way. So again, this is the space you want to really control. But again, unfortunately, you get a bit ahead of yourself. And you become ready to, and you hard engage. And now, it's looking a bit rough. Power block is reasonable. Punch is reasonable. It's just insane you get out of life at that. Like, absolutely insane. Insane. Oh, yeah. Okay. one Cassidy, one Sombra, one is anyone with one CC ability would have cooked you by now. If that round goes Malgo, you would have this map would already be over. This should be 5 minutes long. Oh buddy. Oh buddy. Oh buddy. Oh buddy, this might 0.25. So mid 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots. So yeah, you're just over aiming. That's literally it. Funnily enough, my Doom player on my old team, he was never able to kill a Lucio because he just lost the shots too much. Arna's got a slightly, Arna's got an easier hitbox, obviously, right? But again, just take your time, you know. Like, there's no one's rushing, no one's looking at you apart from me. You don't need to be seeing this. But yeah, don't try. Again, just a little bit more patience, Less is more. Okay.
Right.
You're so close, but in the high ground. So close. So close so far. So close. And again, if you stay here, the only thing that's going to happen to you is, absolute worst case scenario, you punch out and you force to leave. That's worst case. You burn time off the clock and you punch away. That's literally the worst case scenario. And then Plat, when no one clears high grounds on Platinum because it's fucking Platinum, then you just get a free engage every time. So abuse it while you can, right? But again, worst case scenario, you just leave. So I don't know why you're not abusing this, right? Your bashing clearly is. So would have been unfortunate. Okay. Let's see here from your POV again. Alright. Shield out. Soft engage. I prefer it, again, slight thing here, but I prefer it to be in this direction here because you get more shields that way. And then also I'll probably do it on this car because you've got more cover to use, and it's less orc to punch out because here if you're punching out, you're punching into the carts and also into the fire too, which obviously not particularly ideal. So slightly, again, better engage here. I always say as well, whenever you're soft engaging with slam, cover is really important with it. I'm probably sure I mentioned this to you beforehand as well. But yeah. Yeah, now you hit the fire. Oh, that's not looking good. Powerblock's gonna save you. Nano's gonna save you too. I think Powerblock here, so who's actually looking for here? Okay, Ram, Kiri, yeah, that's fine. I mean, again, the Ash isn't looking at you here, right? And nor is the fire, which is why you don't get the full punch here. But you all have HP, right. There's 2-3 people looking at you. I think the block's more than reasonable. I think it's okay. Okay. Alright. Sure, I think that punch is reasonable. Fire was looking fairly juicy there, so I think it's okay. Okay. I mean, sure. So the only thing I'd say here is like your actual path of engagement is the only thing I'd say here. So you got slam. Where might you want to slam to? Where could you slam to that gives you good shields, good cover, good angle, and is aggressive but safe?
Behind them?
Yes, right behind them. Like, had you like done like a leapfrog essentially, like you just leapfrog over like this, and then it like right over here, this would have been absolutely beautiful. Like you've got good distance, you get good slam, good cover usage, aggressive but safe. Again, it's aggressive because you're directly behind them. It's safe because you've got cover, distance. They can't clear you. If they are going to clear you, they're wasting their time. It allows your team to actually push up, relieve push off your team, right? So again, it's like this mindset thing where it feels really scary to slam back into that spawn room, but in actuality, it's the safest thing you could do here. Which is again a bit counterintuitive, but again, the more times you think about this, and the more times you're thinking about where can I slam to, that allows me to be aggressive, but also pretty safe. Then you start to think of these things in your games. Like I imagine you were here right now. Like your life becomes 10 times easier. The Ash is literally walking into you had you stand over here, and then you get free line-up of shots. The wall is great for the punch too. You punch into the wall, GG, you know. And that would have been a nice free kill there. Okay. Obviously, you'll be fine. Your team's like carrying, so you'll be okay. Now watch one more fight, and then we'll do a quick summary. Okay. Don't slam in, thank you. But that was a weird slam, sure. Okay, I can. You got meter strike, so I'm fine with this. Fine. Yeah, I don't know why you're power blocking that because you're looking to get your next cycle up really quickly, so I'm okay with that. Okay, sure, our position. Maybe a bit of placement there's the only thing I can say. Okay. Sure. Okay, let me look at that again actually, from your POV. yeah, so like again, I just would have gone behind her to be honest, because if you go here, she has to make 1 or 2 moves. She either has to walk forward into your team, which makes her more killable, or she moves into your meteor strike, which ensures that you get the kill. Because big damage on the center of it. So slight placement with it is kind of the mistake I made. I'd say the main mistake.
Yeah.
It fucks up your SEO engage. Okay. Again, look at. Okay, you get the block here. You get the puncher, right? But again, if I look at who's looking at you, far flanks to the left side. She's not even shooting at you. You can see she's not even shooting at you. She's shooting behind you. And if I slow it down a little bit, right? Only one going on to you is Moira and Ramatra. Moira can stop shooting at any time. Ramatra can stop pummeling at any time. You can't see the Ashe. You can't see the Pharah. You can't see the Kiriko. Don't block this. So I'm not even sure who shoots you here. Or just the fucking ram punches you and the Moira sucks you off anyway. So you get the punch regardless, right? But again, look at the eyes of the enemy team. You'll get punches more consistently that way. Okay, cancel. Don't go. I knew you were gonna do it. Again, look at this. Look at your screen. Look at this Ashe right there. Look at your screen. There's no need to go here. Again, if you do go here, you want to get a kill for this, which makes sense. You do not want to waste your empowered punch for this. So it's really unfortunate. Again, you just waste your time. And look, I can tell this is definitive television because you're so tunneled on this. You can only see this on your screen right now. You can't see the Ashe onto your right side. So again, a little bit more patience, a little bit more thoughts. I think I maybe again I mentioned this to you before, and I've said this like 1,000 times. But whenever you have downtime on Doomfist, so like your power blocking, so downtime looks like downtime, the power blocking, slamming, charging punch, charge. Like whenever you're doing any of these things, you're not actually doing anything. You're just charging up an ability, or you're just again looking what's going on your screen. There's no mechanical thing, barring this maybe, that really changes like again how you really play. And it's when you have like these small gaps of downtime is really when you're gonna get out of your own head and think about again who's the best target to punch, where do I want to punch to, what's my escape, where again who's actually the most killable person here, what's the position that I can play that's aggressive but safe. Those kind of questions that relate to your positioning and target priority, the 2 key things there, will drastically change the choices that you make in the fight. It's the same thing I say to Tracers when they're recalling, same thing I say to Genjis when they're deflecting. Like every single dive hero in this game has downtime. And again, you really want to be using that to start thinking a lot more. Because had you done that, the Ashe dies. Right. Don't stand out. Nice. Oh, don't need to stand out. Look at your screen. Right, so fine. Who's the only one shooting you here?
The Ramatra.
Do you need how much HP do you have?
500.
Do you need to leave here?
And I'm at the corner, so
yeah, and you got a corner, right? So you don't need to leave here, Again, like it's such a key thing to understand. But yeah, again, if you're playing some Tracer, by all means get the fuck out of here. By all means do so. But you're not. You're playing against a comp that can't punish you at all. So yeah, I think that's probably going to be the summary or the big key point. I'd say this entire pod. It's to again pay attention to their comp, especially your mobile ones, and play spaces that are aggressive but safe. In other words, good angles, or gives you a good angle to engage from, but makes it very hard to be cleared. That's the key thing. That's what makes these positions so fucking annoying if you're the enemy team. That's why you want to abuse them so much. But yeah. Second thing I say is just visual ag with your block, as mentioned prior. And that's pretty, I guess there's also small things, like again, you're slamming to, so versus hard engaging, and that kind of stuff, zoning as well, and baiting, but there's kind of like higher level ideas that go beyond your pay grade, I'd say. I think those are the 2 key things I'd focus on. Any questions?
No, that's good. Thank you.
Oh, good. Well, this has been recorded. My channel's been gone for the past half an hour, for past 5 hours or so, but I'm getting it back fairly soon, so it should be all good. And then hopefully I can upload this in time. So, yeah, I'll stop recording.